Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the One Tile Challenge here on Comlands. Thank you to Zorch Farming for coming up with this challenge that so many people are now participating in. We are just popping in here to May. I've been kind of just trying to push on here to harvest season, which would be July, when we'll be pulling oats, canola, and wheat out of the fields. But in the meantime, I've been just kind of making sure, moving wool to the to the necessary places and milk and all that kind of stuff, just to make sure we got stuff, the stuff happening with the productions. I got some cow milk here, so let's grab that. Oh, I should point this out. I have spent some money. So I did put a third bank of trees because the animals just absolutely love it here. So that's been a great addition to this menagerie of animal craziness. When I left you guys last, I was putting the oat seeds into the ground, and I mentioned something about wanting a roller. So yeah, I did. At the time, I sold a box of clothes for I don't remember how much I got for it. Let's call it like 8 or 9 or 10 grand or some number, and then I used that to buy a roller. So the oats did get rolled. And then I think that was the only thing I did with it. Yeah, I just planted it, rolled it, sprayed it, did all the stuff anyways, and then it's been hailing nonstop. Everything's starting to come in here, which looks really good. The wheat off to my left. Right now you can see oats immediately off to my right, and then we're just about to get to the canola field. So that's all looking very good. I'll be looking forward to taking not only the crops off, but then also the straw. Why, I can't remember, but I'm sure I'll figure that out. All right, so what do we have here? We have goat's milk. We got a little bit of everything. We got some goat's milk. We got some wool, so we'll put the wool in here for old Granny. There you go, Granny. This is, I'm recording this, or at least I'm trying to start recording this, because I have a feeling I'm probably going to have to do this over a couple stints, but Plains and Prairies DLC launched today, so not sure if that's something y'all are playing with or plan on playing with or whatever, but looks like there's some good stuff in there. Some Ford tractors, which is cool. I always forget to do that. If the control group is not on the trailer, then I can't do anything with it. I just forget for some reason. Okay, let's dump this out of the way. So I'll show you something else I bought. Probably already saw it anyways, but... All right, so we put in those trees. I bought the roller. And then this is probably not the solution I was hoping for, actually, so we'll probably end up making a change, but I bought this little platform here, and I've just been using it to sort of hand bomb the apple juice into. Let's see if we can pick it up without tipping over. Okay, it doesn't weigh very much. Yeah, apple juice is not at its best right now, so I'll probably just I'll probably just leave it here. But yeah, so we're gonna just hopefully that'll make for easy transportation. All right, might as well get some veggies and put those on the racks. Veggies, fruit, veggies, right? If we keep this nice and low, we should be able to get all 3 pallets up to storage without issue. Anyways, yeah, so popping in here to get, what I was going to do was pop in here to get clothing and olive oil sold, but clothing seems to have taken a dip, and I mean, we're currently in the highest month of the season as far as projected value, and we're like gonna come up like 3 grand short of the max if we sell everything right now. So I'm kind of hopeful that at some point here today I'll see the values spike, and then we can get that stuff sold. The olive oil is almost dead on right now, so maybe we can start with that. It's actually not supposed to mature until June, but I mean, I guess I should maybe be a little worried because the clothing was supposed to max out right now, but it seems to be going the other way. We'll put it in storage anyways, and then, or actually, why don't let's go up here and we'll check again. Oh, I can see some oils here now that need to go into storage, so we'll just put all this in storage. Yeah, so here's the reality of things right now. We have, that's the apple juice, never mind. So here's the clothes. We have what should be $75,000 basically. We're sitting right around 72. It looks like the pricing is going up. So at some point here today, I think that should be good actually. If I just scooch down here, there's the olive oil right there. It's pretty much dead on right now, so I could start selling the olive oil. Silage is just fermenting, so that's not a big deal. So let's start selling the olive oil. Basically all I want to do is come on here, sell the olive oil and sell the clothing. So we'll have 9 pallets in total, it looks like. I think I can only take 2 at a time. I think if I try to take any more, then basically I'll be doing a nose wheelie the entire way. All right, so each combination is about $7,500. Hello. 7,000 plus the environmental score. I'm just going to back up here and grab the last 2 olive oil pallets. So that's going to bring us to, you know, somewhere in the mid $30,000 range. Whoa, easy, easy, easy. And so the dealership's been taunting me with some larger tractors. I think we're okay though. Like, I'm not really looking for any big tractors, just bigger equipment. That mowing marathon the last time we were together was painful. Yeah, see, each pallet more or less, I guess, is like $500 short or whatever. So $400 short. So we want to wait. Might as well get these into the storage racks. The bottled milk. Oh, here comes more. Here we go. What do you think? Will more spawn after we pick these ones up? Maybe. Nope. All right, all of that is away in storage. I guess we will go probably hang out in the cabin and watch for the clothing to appreciate, and then we'll get that sold, and then we'll go. I'm thinking we'll kind of breeze through June and get ourselves into July where we'll be ready to harvest. All right, we're back. It's late in the day here on the end of May. And man, did I ever realize something that I wish I'd realized earlier. I'll show you in a second here, right after we get these silage bales sold. So we're just going to sell a bunch of stuff right now. Oh shoot. All right, we're good. All right, I have been dutifully watching this time-saving stock check and the pricing here for clothes. And while, yes, it's been saying forever that the clothes prices are going up, this gap between $10,300 per pallet and $10,900 at its highest point, which says it's supposed to be May, which we're in May right now, just keeps growing. The gap keeps growing, and it's getting further and further. So I was a little perplexed. So then I went over here. So look, this says May, right? When you pop in here, the top price is April, and it starts going down in May. So we were never going to reach it. I missed the top price. Then when I started looking at every single production, the time-saving stock check says it's maturing 1 month after the actual prices chart. So I don't know what's up with that. But if you remember, we sold the olive oil pretty much for more than what it was going to be worth when we got to the mature month, which would have been June. But meanwhile, it turns out there was actually May that the top price was. So anyways, not exactly sure what that's all about, but we're going to go and just sell everything right now, right after we sell the silage. So one of the things with silage too, it sells on average for around $120 per 1,000 liters. That's the hard economy price. The animal husbandry bulk fill station that I have there, it's like double that. So I'm not going to sell it there. That's going to be a little bit too much money. We'll continue to sell it over here or up at the farmer's market or something. So that way we're not. It's just too much. Like I don't want to completely juice the system, you know. So really, what we could do now, I've still been putting things like peas and olive oil peas and olive oil, lettuce all up here. We can sell all that along with the clothes. But yeah, that was a disappointing discovery. I was literally waiting for a price that was never going to come because we had already had it and I didn't even notice. Oh, all right. I didn't expect to grab this many. All right, we'll sell these 3 and then we'll come back. How many of these could I pick up? I could have stacked them, I guess. Oh yeah, that's like 40 grand right there with the environmental bonus. If I'm almost out of fuel. If as I'm doing this, if you're sort of noting that there's some gaps in the crops, that's the hail damage. We've been getting pummeled by hail pretty much consistently every month, and it's just taken a chunk out of our crops, which really sucks. Man, these 3 little things of clothes, like 40 grand. So that means that'll be like 80 plus whatever we get for the other one. So that's far more than what I thought we were going to get. So even though we are selling it at a lower price, we're still getting Like with the environmental bonus, we're still getting a lot. Wait, we're getting like 12.3 per pallet. Is there more than 1,000 liters in these? I thought it said we're supposed to get like 10,000. Yeah, closed max price is around 10,000 per 1,000 liters. Currently, it's saying we're getting 10.3, but that one pallet got us like 12,000. So the lettuce we're gonna sell at the other little market stand that we put down because it's worth a little bit more there. But yeah, look. So how much is this actually worth here? Yeah, 12.3. So that's like $2,000 more than what it actually said it was supposed to be worth. What is going on here? I'm not complaining. Trust me, that's fantastic. But I'm just surprised. All right, so the goat milk will sell at the bigger market stand. The lettuce will sell at the smaller market stand. Yeah, like look at that. Look at that hail damage there. We're upwards of $155,000 now, folks. I'm definitely going to put some money down on the loan. I kind of want to wait until we get to the harvest though, because in the off chance that we find a trailer with better capacity, if something pops up in the used sale, and B, if we found, just by chance, if a more substantial harvester showed up, then those two things might be something we'd add. If not, then we'll be probably looking to. I mean, I've complained about the mower. I've definitely complained about the windrow. I would prefer a mower. If I could, in a perfect world, if I could get a mower that left a windrow, and if I could get a baler that also wrapped bales, that would be fantastic. And then, I mean, we'll have straw bales. One of those inexpensive square balers would be cool. Look at you get a couple bucks in your pocket, and all of a sudden you're trying to figure out how to spend it. But we're coming close to $200,000 here. All right, so we'll get this one sold, and then we'll go back in the stock checker and see what's going on. I don't think I missed any potential stuff to sell right now. Oh yeah, the apple juice. So we could sell the apple juice. It's close enough. I don't really care. We're just gonna sell it. All right, apple juice and peas, and then we'll probably be done there. We're not quite at top price for any of this stuff, but you know what? We're just gonna sell it. We're gonna have so much stuff all the time, anyways. We may as well just start selling it now. Yeah, and then we have basically over a 1 month, 2 month span, I guess. Really, if you think about it, we have 3 different crops to harvest. Then it's oil mill for the canola. And it's flour mill for the oats and the wheat. I almost convinced myself. I remember saying I'd never put chickens in. I'm like, well, maybe if we're gonna have all this wheat, we put chickens in too. But I'm not gonna bother. That would just be a little bit more than what I want to deal with. At this rate, we get a good chunk of the loan paid off once we'll do this harvest, obviously, and then we're going to just be barfing out flour and oil and stuff. So we get a good chunk of that loan paid off, and we could be getting through this, folks. There, $175,000. No sweat. Let's go get the apple juice, because that should probably give us, it's like 18,000, I think. Yeah, this is like a slick little thing here, but I'm not totally sold on the way it looks, I guess. So the bottled milk, I believe we're still storing, right? All right, we'll just back in here to our greasy little cell station. Yeah, it's like 18, so $194,000. Not so bad. All right, well, you know what? That means we're going to put this little stand back so we can continue bombing apple juice into it. Then I'm going to go and rest up, and we'll see what June brings us. Likely what I'm going to end up doing is just maintaining the animals and the productions, and then we're going to get ourselves to the harvest. I think that's what we all came here for, right? And checking the store, we basically just have a big ass tractor, a sprayer, whatever the heck this is. I think it's something to do with olives and because it says right there olive, and then this spreader, which we are not buying that. So see you when I see you. Okay, guys, welcome to July. I just popped up to the animals here to see what is going on, and man, I think we're just like, these sheep are going nuts. Here, let's look here. Yeah, look, so the 1 month sheep, so 1 and 2 months. So there's just within the last couple months, there's 25 of these Steinschafs. Another 10, so there's 35 right there, and then 5 goats. So there's been like 40 animals added to the sheepness. What about these guys? They got any milk over here too? You got any milk? We got almost 800 liters of milk, so I'll have to come back up here with the trailer. But let's see what these guys have. I know we had some. I think we had some calves. No, we didn't. I bought calves. Yeah, if you remember, we had 20, right? 5, 5, 5, and 5, and then I added some 6 months old, so now they're 7 months. But anyways, okay, well, we got food. They got enough water. We got to come back and get some milk. Yeah, these guys just are not multiplying very quickly. So, all right, well, that's good. Let's grab this thing of wool here. How much is, let's see how much goat milk is in this. 100 liters. Oh, whatever, okay. Sure, we'll take your 100 liters. Okay, perfect. Let's take this. We likely, well, yeah, look at the canola over there. It's no longer its beautiful yellow self. The wheat here is now brown. My guess is the oats are not ready yet because I think they'd be brown. Right now they're green, so that's not a bad thing. That just means that we only have to worry about 2 of the crops today. So I have not bought anything. I have not sold anything since since May when I went to go take a nap. But I have spent some time looking at the dealership. Now, I haven't checked today to see if there's anything on sale that would work for us. Man, it would be amazing if we just happened to find a harvester on sale. I think I finally figured out where the trigger is for that for the dairy. These, let's go stack over here. We got triples right now. Fantastic. So currently we have a harvester that goes 30 kilometers an hour, I think. Working speed 30. It has a 2,500 liter capacity, and we have a 4-meter header. This thing's worth $7,600. If we fix it up, it's probably worth, let's call it 8,000. The header. Yeah, so maybe let's call it maybe 10 grand we get if we sell that. All right, so for $55,000, we can pick this New Holland up. The only thing I'm concerned about, it says manual, but I don't think I've ever had anything that's manual, so hopefully that's not the case. Otherwise, we might be fixing ourselves up here. But so this thing has 5,600 liters. So now we've got twice the capacity. Runs roughly the same working speed, 25 kilometers an hour. I think that's driving speed. I think the actual harvesting speed is probably different. But so we could pick this thing up for 55.2, of which we are going to do that right now. This is more of a me thing and less of a how we're going to quickly reach our goal thing. The recommended header is a ridiculous header. It's a 4-meter header, 1.2 tons for 20 grand. No, we're not doing that. I can get a 5.7 meter header right here, which is roughly the same weight at, and this thing's $7,500. So if all of this works, we spent $62,700. I should get 10 grand back for our current harvester if I didn't screw something up. Oh, let's park right next to the roller that I never showed you guys. There's the roller. Yeah, so in the end, we'll have spent about 50 grand, and we'll have more capacity. Oh, what am I doing? It's July. It's 20 degrees out, and I'm wearing my winter clothes. Oh, that's better. Yeah, so if everything works right, we should have a reasonable option there now. More capacity, wider working width. Just more overall convenience for yours truly, and yeah, we can go to town and get harvesting here. This was a great harvester, but I mean it's just going to take us so much longer to get everything done. Now I am driving at 30 kilometers an hour, which I can't do that, and the other one's only going to be 25. But anyways, that's okay. Hopefully it works properly. All right, let's get this thing into the shop here so we can tidy it up and get it sold. There's the new one. $9 grand there. All right, nice doing business with y'all. And this will be the new one here, the New Holland. Definitely looks a little more evil. All right, well, if this thing works properly, then we're good. If it doesn't, well, shame on me. So what I need now is a bigger trailer, but anyways, that's a whole other story. This is like the stealth bomber of harvesters. As I immediately get it stuck on this pylon. All right, well, let's see if we can rescue this thing. My guess is if I lift this up. Nope. All right, good news. We're free. All right, so we're going along at 6 kilometers an hour right now. That can't be right. All right, well, at 6 kilometers an hour, this is going to be a little bit maddening. And I don't know whether that's the header or whether that's the harvester. So let's try something here because this is not going to work for me. All right, so it's the header for sure. The store, I bought this one for 12 grand, and now we're going at 12 kilometers an hour instead of 6. So that is 100% the four shits header. I guess maybe it's in the name, right? Four shits? Is that it? So it is for the shits. So don't use that header. That sucks. This header is way better. Now the only thing is I wasn't able to color coordinate it, so I may have to go back to the store to switch up some colors so that I can match my header, because you know that's important, right? Anyways, this thing's now 2 tons, this header, so we're a little bit more front heavy here. So we'll have to sell back that other header because I'm not going to use the four shits header. So I wonder if that's kind of like a little bit of karma for an unnecessary harvester upgrade. Because I mean, really, if you think about it, I didn't need to change harvesters, but I wanted the additional capacity. Really, that's what was driving that, and this definitely has the additional capacity. All right, well, anyways, yeah, so beautiful day. We finally made it to the harvest. That's fantastic. We've got $120,000. Now I do have a header up there I need to sell, so that's fine. I'm not going to try to play any tricks with the store. We'll just take my lumps and sell it back for whatever I get for it. I'm curious. So the oil mill there has been building up a bit of a stockpile of sunflower and olive oil. So it's not really processing. It's not really processing everything as fast as the greenhouses are putting it in there. So I almost wonder, so when I go and I dump a whole bunch of canola in there, are we just jamming up the process to the point where we're going to be super backlogged? And I'm wondering, maybe should I be switching up the greenhouses with something else? And is there another production that I can do, like a salad maker or something that maybe we can make better use of the space. Sorry, maybe we can make better use of the output for the greenhouse, because while yes, lucrative, the oils, they're not processing quickly. Or perhaps there's an additional oil mill that I can put down. So I don't know whether canola is a yielder or not. We're 3,800 liters right now. We've done really one headland and a couple passes at this end. So the other small purchase that I think might make sense. Well, one of two things. So if we're going to be just picking up the straw and selling it because we don't need it for anything else, on one hand, I could get a forge wagon. We could pick it up and then just dump it right into the sell point and just take whatever it's worth whenever we take it off the ground. 2, I could purchase a square baler and we could just bale up the straw. I guess if we did that, then we could kind of sit on it until it was at a respectable value. Not that it's ever really at a respectable value, but so it's either straws or loose. I got to figure that one out. I guess I kind of have to figure it out relatively soon too, because if I remember correctly, we harvest the canola and then we almost immediately put the seeds in the ground again, right? And then I wonder if it's the same thing with the wheat. I can't remember. Before it was 96% full, so which is basically full. So I think the trailer, did I bring the trailer down here? No. I'm gonna leave the water trailer up there, so that way when I do come, eventually when I put the trailer back up there, I can bring back whatever milk is up there. So you gotta be smart. Yeah, so I hate doing blind purchases like that harvester. I swear, often what I'll do is I'll go and I'll harvest all of this before I ever record the episode just to make sure that there's no surprises. And then what happened? I got surprised. That's what happens, right? And if you don't test these things, then FS lets you down. Like, did I miss something? Maybe it said that that header had a 6 km/h working speed, and I just didn't see it. So this thing holds 8,500 liters, I believe. So we're gonna get like roughly, a hopper and a half, I guess. So we'll have to see for next harvest season. I wonder if I may be employing. We may wait till then to employ auto drive and or course play. Sorry. Especially with these split fields, but we may look at doing that. Wow, that's a slow transfer too. But this harvest season we'll just get her done ourselves. All right, we're just gonna dump this into the production right now. Anyways, yeah, we may be just blowing up this production. That's okay if the canola just vanishes halfway to the ground. All right, so if we go into the oil mill, canola oil, activate. Yeah, see, check this out. We have 21,000 liters of olives in here and 15,000 liters of sunflowers. So the greenhouses are dumping into this and it's not producing anything, or it's producing very slowly. All right, so well, that was one load. So I guess I'm gonna guess that, what was that? Did we say that was like 5,700 liters, 5,500 liters, something like that? Well, we may get 20. Will we get 20,000 liters? No, we're probably gonna get like 15,000 liters. That's my guess, anyways. All right, we're coming up on our third full load, which will be about 5,300 liters. So let's call that 15,900, almost 16,000 liters, basically, that we got off this field. So I don't know, it feels good to me. And then we'll have the straw. So one thing I want to check is when we're done harvesting and it's time to plant, we're going to have wheat and canola. I may consider switching the two fields. So the other field over there becomes the canola and this one becomes the wheat. For no other reason, just to switch it up. Oh, we're at 91% here. Shoot. Yeah, okay, we're going to have to empty here and then get the last little bit. But yeah, anyways, I'll have to double check to see how quickly we need to turn these fields over. We'll have to probably look at, this time the double fertilization. We'll get the, you know what? Saying we could potentially even look at like corn. I wonder, is corn the spring? We should look at that anyways. Especially if maybe we don't do canola again, because if we're okay with our current, as slow as the oil mill is, if we're okay doing what we're doing with the greenhouses, and perhaps we switch one of those greenhouses to lettuce or something that we know is reasonably priced. We keep going with the olives and the sunflowers out of the greenhouses, and then we look at like maybe doing corn, and we throw in like one of the corn cribs or something so we could sell the dried corn. The corn cribs just look super cool, and I know I could find a spot for at least one or two of them. We could probably only need one because I think they hold 40,000 liters. But yeah, maybe we do that. I don't know. We'll see. And if that's the case, then maybe we're going to get a chance to put grass in one of these fields, mow it in the spring, and then do the corn. I don't know, but you know what? I'm going to go dump this into the production, and then I'll finish up the last of the canola, and then we'll get working on the wheat. All right, so now we'll see what this one yields. I think we're going to get more actual grain off of this, right? Because I think wheat yields greater than canola. And then I think we should see more straw also. So this one should be a deliverer. We should see a lot come out of this. And then this stuff's going to go into the flour mill. So we'll drown the flour mill. I guess this episode will be the wheat and canola, and then when we get into the next episode, we'll be able to harvest the oats. So that is cool. I'm definitely a thumbs down on this harvester. It's kind of clunky, doesn't handle very well, super slow backing up. I don't know. Maybe it's realistic. You let me know what you think about it. Not maybe it's just because I had the issues at the beginning. I don't know. And anyways, whatever. I'm not gonna abandon it right away. But if there was a reasonable used option that popped up, then maybe we'd consider making a change if we had some money. I was just kind of like looking at the bank account there, and really what I need to do is I need to make a payment on the loan before I start, justifying more purchases. and next thing you know, all the money that we got off selling everything, I'll have spent and somehow justified it, which I don't want to do. I'd like to pay that loan down. So, yes, I've said a number of things. Like right now, I can think that I'd like, a bigger trailer. I'd like a mower that leaves a swath. I'd like, I can't. I was gonna go down that between the oats and the wheat there, but I'm at 76%, so I would have got stuck in the middle somewhere. I would like a just to improve the whole mowing process, because it's very painful right now. I would also like to have some, like, perhaps a square baler for the straw. I think a square baler is the way to go, and not the bulk, because if there is some fluctuation in the price of straw, well, we could kind of store it a little bit until it's at its most. But it's going to go up like $2 or $3 per 1,000 liters. So it's not much. At some point, well, no, I guess we're not going to get into fermenting silos, because we do have ways of fermenting straw, but I don't think there's any reasonable ways of fermenting straw, if you know what I mean. Yeah, this should generate some money. I mean, we're going to have a ton of flour again. We'll be pumping out all kinds of oils. We'll be supercharged, and then really over the next calendar year. So I ended up taking down a couple more trees at 1,900 liters per tree. We've already started making some firewood back there. So I don't know. I just figured we might as well put the thing to use. I have so many trees that a few trees now aren't really going to matter. If I manage to get a whole row of trees cut and processed, then maybe we need a planter again, so we can replenish them, because as long as we're on this challenge, I may as well have trees growing in the off chance that we can harvest them. Yeah, here's another knock against this harvester. It takes forever to empty. All right, we'll just kind of tuck this out of the way. No, we're kind of stuck in the middle with this trailer, because if I sent the harvester out again, I'm 65% full right now. Ideally, I should be 50% or less with one full hopper, and then basically I could get two hoppers. So ideally, we get a trailer that's like 12,000 liters. I'm trying to figure out the best way to go here, because this is more than awkward at this end. Well, maybe if I can get across here, we can go run up the middle. I just want to avoid backing up. Backing up and emptying this thing are brutal. When you're actually like harvesting, it's not so bad. All right, and there you go, guys. We're done. Just like that. 1 minute I'm trying to decide how I'm going to run up the middle of the field, and the next minute I'm done. But actually what really happened was I had something come up. I had to stop recording, and it's the next day now, and anyway, so I just finished the harvest. So we ended up getting about 30,000 liters of wheat off that field, so that was pretty good, I think. And now we got a bunch of straw. So actually, I'm glad that I ended up having a bit of a break there, because I was really having a hard time trying to decide what to do with the straw. Part of me thought, well, you know what, we could just bale it up, we could just pick it up and sell it, which didn't seem very exciting, to be honest with you. It seemed like kind of the easy way out, which was cool by me, but I wanted to see if I could come up with something different to do with it. And I think I might have found something different to do with straw. So now I don't know that I'll unveil my complete plan until the next episode, because I will need to harvest the oats first, because what we're going to do will require a little bit of space. But what I will do, though, is bale up the straw, because we can work with straw bales anyway. So immediately what I'm going to do here is grab the header that we have over here and go and sell that. A little bit of a pain, obviously. We got to drive this header back to the shop and sell it that way. but we need that money back out of it. And then what I'm going to do is purchase a square baler. So thankfully those John Deere balers, whatever, those cheap square balers have come to us. Actually, I guess I don't even really need to do a square baler. I can use our round baler. That just seems like a lot of work. I think what I'll do is exactly what I just said. I'll grab the square baler, we'll bale up all the straw and get it off the field, and then basically in the next episode we'll harvest the oats, and then we should put the plan in place that I have for what we'll do with the straw. I'm kind of guaranteeing that I'm going to end up spending more time on the map, because what I'm not doing is paying down my loan. If I keep investing in our farm, we never get to the point where I can. It's almost 7 grand. Yeah, we never get to the point where I can actually get off the map. Okay, well, you know what? While we're here, I don't think I can tow a baler with this, but let's purchase it. All right, so there is our square baler. So 12 plus the wide tires. I don't really know. There's two mod. There's the 100 and another one, but I don't really know what the difference is. Maybe, hopefully I won't find out the hard way. But we can make 240 centimeter bales, which is good, so it's less bales to handle. All right, I'm all but certain that I will. No, there's no way I can tow this. It would never fit underneath there. Yeah, okay, well, let's not try that, because I can just see both myself, the baler and the harvester ending up in space with whatever cows we launched the other day. So we're going to go park this up. We'll go grab the tractor. So, shoot. That was your fault, sir. And then we'll get baling up that straw. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about what we're going to do. Yeah, I guess, so my plan, so it's a $55,000 install. There's a... so I want to do something with this straw, right? I don't want to just sell it, and I don't want to not have it. And anyway, so currently I'm going to get this baler. We're going to bale up our straw, and then I'm going to, once the oats are out, we're going to put in a mini BGA. This mini BGA will take the straw and it will turn it into electricity. It will take it into methane or methane, depending on where in the world you live, and it will turn it into digestate. Electricity, methane, and digestate. So the electricity and methane, there's not necessarily a sell point on the map for those things, but you can just set them to sell. So we'll just set them to sell, and then wow, this is quite the color contrast here. Then the digestate, same thing. We could potentially sell it. I know I can sell it in the animal husbandry bulk fill-up that we have, and the price is ridiculous. Ridiculously good. Otherwise it's, fairly low, but we could also use it to fertilize our fields. So instead of purchasing, so when I was talking about getting an additional spreader, one for lime, one for manure, well, if we have the digestate, then that would count as a second. I believe, anyways. You correct me if I'm wrong, but it should qualify as a second form of fertilizer. All right, so I just paid $2,400 because I forgot to fill up the twine. And the reason why I noticed that is I was trying to figure out what's going on with my... Wow, how I couldn't reset the bale size. I just set it to 220. 240 is nice, but what if we run into problems? So yeah, once we put this... so we need some real estate for this mini BGA. I don't know if it's a get-rich thing. I don't know if it's a, just break-even thing. I don't know if we're going to make a lot of money. I don't know if it's broken. I'm not putting it in until after we get after we harvest the oats. So perhaps I'll test it. Maybe I won't. Maybe we'll just fly by the seat of our pants and just just go for it. But regardless, I think that's what we're going to end up doing, because I just want different things on the map that are doing stuff for us, right? So that would definitely be something different that we don't have right now. And the building looks kind of cool. It's a little bit cumbersome for what we have available for space, but that's okay. We'll make it work. This baler is smooth, man. Holy, the pickup is pretty wide. It tows great behind this 300 horsepower tractor, obviously. I think it said that it requires 115 horsepower, so we have more than enough horsepower. But yeah, this is like buttery smooth. It'd be nice if it made a few more noises, but I mean, it sounds so civilized. Yeah, so I don't know. What do you think of that plan? If you don't like the plan, it's a good chance that I've already recorded the episode where I harvest the oats and put in the mini BGA. So if you don't like the plan and you're like, you're so stupid, thank God I caught you before you did something so dumb. But meanwhile, I may have already done it. So if you want to make me feel bad, then just say that. But if you, if you've had any experience with it, let me know. I may have already discovered the pros and cons of it by the time you see this. But anyways, we'll see. So I have not paid anything down on the loan. Let's actually, you know what? While we're here right now together, let's pay down 50 grand just for now. So we owe $450,000. The mini BGA is $55,000, and I know that I'm going to have to do some landscaping and stuff to make it work the way I want it to. Not work as in like to make it function, but to make it like look the way I want it to. We'll probably end up down at the other, so we have that gap right on the end of the three greenhouses. There's a bit of a grass patch there. Well, basically I can use that plus some of the oat field to put this thing in, and then the dump point for, like, it'll take bales. I did test that. So and I'll tell you, there's one more piece of that puzzle, but so it'll take bales, so I can basically dump them over at that far side. We may take out a few trees and just kind of gravel in some of our tree nursery there, just to kind of make more room. But I think there's a decent space for it over there. I mean, our poor house is getting drowned out with all these noisy productions, but that's okay. It's progress, right? So the other piece of that mini BGA puzzle is I can produce potatoes in our greenhouses, and potatoes will feed the mini BGA also, and create methane, electricity, and digestate. So when we don't have straw, because obviously we're only getting straw right after we harvest, and I don't know how fast this thing's going to process, but when we don't have straw, we can still be feeding potatoes into it, and we don't actually have to, harvest the potatoes. It just comes out of the greenhouse, and likely will distribute right into the mini BGA, which is even better. Because the more of this stuff we can have feeding each other, the more or the less we have to, the less work we have to do. Basically, the less times we have to handle anything. But yeah, so I think on that note, I'm going to say adios, bon voyage, arrivederci, ciao, thanks so much, whatever. And basically, so what you can expect in the next one will be, well, we're going to have to do something with these fields. So now we have a canola field and a wheat field that we've just harvested, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with them. I may already be doing something with them by the time you guys get back. Who knows? They may already be planted. I have no idea. So there's these two fields, and then we're going to be harvesting the oats, and then taking the, obviously putting the oats into the bakery or the flour mill, and then putting the straw in, baling up the straw, so we can then eventually put it into the mini BGA. Then we will, depending on what funds look like, put in the mini BGA. So we could end up with some field work, some harvesting, and then some construction in the next episode. I can see some of our stuff is already starting to, our stores are starting to grow again. We're starting to get more stuff in inventory, so we may have some stuff to sell or whatever. So yeah, we should be in good shape. Like, I think by spending 50, so I spent 60 grand or whatever, 50 grand on the harvester. Do I regret it? Maybe a little bit. I wasn't exactly happy with the harvester, but we'll make it work. And then spending the money on a mini BGA, will it make us money? Well, hopefully, but at least I have a home for the straw, and I know I can generate potatoes out of the greenhouses, so it'll give us something additional, an additional revenue stream. So I think that's pretty good. It's kind of what this is all about, right? Trying different things. So yeah, on that note, folks, I'm going to keep picking up the straw. You'll likely see a stack of bales in the next episode, before we put in that mini BGA, so you'll get a chance to see exactly what happened with the bales. So yeah, I'm going to leave that there, guys. I appreciate everything. This is episode 11 of the One Tile Challenge, and yeah, we'll see you again soon. All right, see you later.
To the street.